Oh boy, I've just been hit by a vehicle being driven by an uncooperative suspect. Better take a quick look at the angle of that wheel to make sure that I'm actually in danger before I make a split-second decision to use self-defense or not. And God forbid I use a bad word to talk about the suspect, because that's somehow worse than actually killing her, which is justified in this case. Hi, I'm Justice Backstrom, and I'd like to give my 2 cents on the Minneapolis ICE shooting incident from last week. Just a couple things that maybe have been overlooked in some of the coverage on it, and just some things that have kind of stuck out to me in this case. And I'm gonna try to be as unbiased as I can in that. Alright, so first of all, the officer, according to reports I've heard, did not draw his weapon until the vehicle was put into drive, and did not fire his weapon until after he was hit by the vehicle. Secondly, all the reporting that are against the ICE agent in this case always bring up the fact that, oh, she was a mother. And it's like, how's he gonna know that? And even if he did know that, self-defense is still self-defense. Thirdly, the idea that she was just trying to get away, she was trying to escape, make a three-point turn, whatever you want to call it, that she wasn't trying to run down the officer. Admittedly, we don't know. However, let me just show you something. Perspective can be tricky. From outside the vehicle, it was easy to see that the tire was not in line with running over the ICE agent. However, when you're inside the vehicle, you have your hood that you're looking over, which kind of distorts your view of immediately in front of you where your tires are going to be rolling. In my estimation, she was probably attempting to run him over with the tire of her vehicle, and that is what the steering wheel and the way she was driving would have appeared to her. Now, admittedly, I am demonstrating these things on a Silverado 2500, which is larger, significantly larger than the Honda Pilot, I believe it was, that she was driving. Still, the same rules apply, just perhaps to a lesser extent. Tagging on to that note, if you are going to run someone over, especially at lower speeds, running over them on the side, i.e. with your tires, is generally going to be more effective than running over them down the middle of the vehicle. Of course, that depends on the size of the person you're running over, as well as the how low your undercarriage is and your ground clearance. The Honda Pilot is an SUV. It's got a bit of ground clearance. It's not got crazy ground clearance, but it's got some. But if you're driving over someone in a vehicle with a decent amount of ground clearance, driving over them in this down the center is probably going to leave them fairly safe. They're going to be knocked down, possibly concussed on the ground from being knocked over or whatever, but probably not going to be significantly injured as they would be if they were run over by the tire. Finally, I've heard some people, not a lot, but I've heard some people complaining that she was shot in the head instead of somewhere less lethal. First of all, shooting in self-defense usually means shooting to kill. You have identified that person as a threat who you reasonably suspect wants to inflict imminent bodily harm or death. And especially in the case when the person is trying to escape and you reasonably believe that they pose a threat to the public or to other ICE officers that may have been in the vicinity. Aside from that, to address the point, complaining that she was shot in the head, let me show you something. Again, I don't know my exact size compared to her or the size of my vehicle compared to hers exactly, but when you are shooting from the front of a vehicle at the driver through the windshield or front window, pretty much all you see is the head and like a bit of the shoulders. He's not going to shoot at something he can't see. Now, the final criticism that I do want to address is one that I can kind of get behind, and that is, why was the officer in front of her vehicle? From a tactical point, from a SOP point of view, general safety point of view, why was he there? I don't know. Clearly, this individual was there to cause a disturbance, to get in ICE's way and to cause an impedance to their operations. However, why he was in front of her vehicle and why he was recording on his phone when he has, you know, body cam, first of all, it's important to ask, was it his personal phone or was it a work phone? And is there some protocol where it's like, hey, it's easier to just transfer videos from a phone, so if someone's like out disturbing you, just, you know, take a quick video of it on your phone, on your work phone, and do it that way. I don't know. That is completely speculation for why he may have been recording on his phone when obviously he should have had his body camera rolling as well. And again, similarly to that, I don't know why he was in front of her vehicle. He made a full 360 around the vehicle and was coming to the end of that. Again, I don't know why that was. I don't know why it wasn't enough to just get the license plate. And that could be its own thing, you know. If that's really the biggest worst thing in the world, write him up. However, that does not change the fact that it was self-defense or any of the other facts that I have discovered, that I've gone over in this video. So with that being said, if you have found my perspectives in this video to be enlightening or informative, or putting things in a way that I hope would be easier to understand for someone who maybe sees this black and white one way or the other, then I would appreciate you saying so. Also share your comments, your opinions in the comments below, and I will see you later. Bye.